everyone, it's Amy with Conscious Companion. I'm here with Hocus Pocus, and it's Fear-Free Friday. Fear-Free Fridays are the days that we talk about tools, tips, and techniques to help you better understand how fear works and to help reduce it within your animal companions. So today, one of the myths that I'd like to talk about surrounding fear is the myth that we should not be providing comfort when they're afraid. There's a very popular myth out there that if we provide comfort when they're afraid, scared, or nervous, that we're actually reinforcing fear. But that's simply not true. And there's an article in the comment section, actually in the about section of this video, where you can read all the science behind this. And the reason this is not true is fear is an emotion, and emotions cannot be reinforced. The underlying emotion that the animal is experiencing, which is ultimately fear, no matter how it looks, you cannot reinforce fear. We can reinforce behavior through behavior modification, but you cannot actually reinforce fear by providing comfort to the animal when they're afraid, when they're feeling threatened. And without sounding overly dramatic, when we don't provide fear when they're afraid, it's actually borderline neglect. Because when an animal is feeling or experiencing some kind of perceived threat, even if we don't agree with that threat being legitimate, the fear is very, very real to them. And so their body is actually going through, they're going in the fight or flight. You know, you'll see them run off, or you'll see them become aggressive. It depends on the animal. It's a very big range, what I just described, but whatever's happening within their mind, it's very real to them. And as an animal guardian, if we want to minimize their stress, we do need to provide comfort when they're afraid. We know now through science that animals who are in prolonged stressors, that they're experiencing stressors for a long period of time, it actually is very detrimental to their immune system. It can contribute to disease. It's any kind of stress on their body for any length of time can actually do damage. So when they are afraid and they are running off, Hocus is much more fun to look at than I am. But if they are afraid, we do need to provide comfort for them. And, you know, providing comfort and telling them you're safe, everything's fine, I got you, buddy, it's cool, you don't have to worry about anything. You're not actually reinforcing that fear. You're letting them know there is someone here taking care of you. Now, the worst that providing comfort in whatever form is most comforting to your animal at the time, the worst it's going to do is not do anything. You can tell an animal when they're afraid, oh, you're fine, you're fine. Most of the time that's actually not helping them. So in another video we'll talk about why we use counter conditioning, why we use behavior modification with food and play to change the underlying emotion of fear to something else that's incompatible with it. But for now, I just wanted to really drive that point home that it is appropriate and it's the most humane thing to do to provide comfort to an animal when they're feeling afraid. And we don't have to agree with the threat of whatever they're perceiving as a perceived threat. If it's something as silly as aluminum foil or a kitchen drawer closing, if the animal runs or hides or reacts in a fearful manner towards whatever they perceive threatening, we don't have to agree with that, but we do have to provide comfort for them. And it's not going to go away just by ignoring it, or by telling them to suck it up, or by telling them to deal with it, or that they'll get over it. They don't just get over things that they're afraid of. If it's something that they've been afraid of in the past and it's coming back up again, or if it's something that's new to them that they're displaying fear behavior around, that isn't just going to go away by ignoring it. So providing comfort is the first step, but the second step is counter conditioning them to whatever they're afraid of. Also, something to note, why we want to provide comfort when they're afraid: fear can generalize, and I guess a simple way to describe it, it can spread. So something that the animal is afraid of in their environment, if it's not dealt with properly in a humane, science-based way, it can actually spread to other people or events or objects within the environment. It didn't just start with maybe the skateboard, but maybe it can transfer to other things. So that actually has happened with our animals before, and it does happen with it has happened with some of my clients and friends. So just be aware of that fear is very real to the animal, even if we don't understand it, agree with it, or we don't can't really handle the whole situation at the time. The first thing we want to do is provide comfort, even if we're not fully aware of everything that's going on. Let them know that you're there for them. Let them know it's okay, and toss a treat their way. We'll talk about in another video how food is a scientific technique to changing the animal's mind, how it helps their brain to actually switch from fear mode or a reactive mode into more of a calmer state of learning. So for now, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy time with your animal companions outside, and don't forget to provide comfort for them. Toss a treat, can't hurt. She's catching flies. Have a great weekend, everybody.